The all-new Insta360 Ace Pro 2 is here. It's got dual chips inside, it's got a wider field of view, and it's got an improved flip screen. But is it the action camera for you? Let's find out. Okay, but first I gotta come clean. All of my illustrious mountain bike career, I have always shot action camera footage on a GoPro, so I come into this a little bit biased. Now I've already noticed a few improvements on this Ace Pro 2 over my GoPro Hero 12, and we'll get to that. But let's first talk about what's under the hood on this new camera so we get an idea of where we're at. This new Ace Pro 2 is the first action camera to feature a Pro imaging chip, in addition to a 5 nanometer AI chip built inside. What does that mean? It means there's 2 chips inside. So the normal person isn't gonna understand what that means, but here's what it means. It's got 100% more computing power than the last Ace Pro, and in addition to that, those 2 chips work in conjunction, so not one of them is working harder than the other. It's kind of like if you hired a moving crew and you only hired one guy to move the couch. It'd be very difficult. But if you hire 2 guys to move the couch, the load is shared equally, and that thing gets moved at 100% faster rate. It's a bad analogy? Okay.
Hey, put that stuff down, that's my grandmother!
Basically what I'm saying is the tasks are divided between those 2 chips, which increases overall efficiency of the camera and increases image quality. Does that make sense? It's like the hiring movers with couches. It kind of makes sense. And since this camera was developed in conjunction with Leica, it's got an upgraded 8K 30 frames a second sensor inside of here, which is pretty beefy. I say we give it the old Colorado Kid 8K crop test. What do you say? So we know the Ace Pro 2 has increased processing power and it can shoot at 8K. But this is a mountain bike channel, and we need to start talking about some of the things that us as mountain bikers care when it comes to an action camera. Let's get into it. Number 1, field of view. It is absolutely essential to have a wide field of view when doing mountain bike coverage. It gives you a better sense of speed on the trail, and you can see a little bit more of the environment. Glad to say this thing has 157 degrees field of view, and it is more than capable of capturing the speed and the angles you'd want out on the trail. Number 2, image stabilization. It is absolutely essential that you have smooth footage when riding. If it's jittery and moving all over the place, it will be unwatchable in my eyes. And in fact, it might make you throw up. Trust me, I've seen it happen. Image stabilization is a must, and this new Ace Pro 2 has image stabilization built in, and you'll see it when we jump on the bike. Number 3, battery life. It's essential that you have good battery life in an action camera. If you have to stop every 15 minutes to change batteries, your friend's gonna ditch you in no time. You gotta have good battery life. This thing's got an 1800 milliamp battery in it, so you can be assured that you're not gonna be stopping constantly and annoying your friends. And number 4, easy mounting options. Now, like I said, I've been shooting on GoPro forever, so I've never really had access to this magnetic mounting, but I'm telling you right now, it's a game changer. This is awesome. Now it's time to go see what it looks like on the trail. Come on. Okay, and of course I've chosen to record in the sandiest area ever, just because the shot looked good, but unfortunately, that does not make for good mountain bike riding in the sand. Maybe I should have brought a fat bike. I'm just kidding, I don't actually own a fat bike. Okay, that's much better. All right, let's talk camera settings. So right now I'm running what's called the action field of view, so we should be capturing as much as we possibly can. Shooting 4K 30, and stabilization is set to high. Now I've got the camera mounted on my full face helmet, which to me is the best angle in the business, and my head acts as a natural stabilizer. So we'll see how this works out. Okay, now one thing I noticed right out of the gate is this camera has haptics on it. So when I make a change, like I hit record or whatever, it vibrates. And since, the reason why I'm bringing it up, since the camera is mounted on my helmet, it's very obvious when I start recording something. It's actually kind of cool, I dig it. It's instead of an audible tone, which it does have, it also kind of vibrates the helmet, which in my case is good, because now I know if I'm recording or not. Okay, let's do some rock rolling, baby. Woo! Howdy, howdy. Ooh, up and over. Nice. Oh yeah. Now they say also these new AI chips can help process the wind noise. We're gonna find out when I take a listen later. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, let's go. Little chunky. Maximum grip. Woo! You thought it was over? Nope, nothing is over. Yep. It's such a cool little playground back here. Nice. Yeah! All right. Woo! Nice. Watch your head. Too cool. This area is always so cinematic. Okay, let's take a break from riding for a second to talk about a couple other features with this camera. I've changed the field of view from action, which has given us the widest possible field of view, to linear. So now we're going into full vlog mode here. In addition to that, I've changed the audio from wind reduction over to voice enhancement to see how it sounds. I gotta say again real quick how much I appreciate this flippable screen. I can see that I'm not quite framed right, so if I move right over here, boom, gorgeous. Now, one other thing with this camera, it does have facial recognition and tracking, so it is keeping my mustache crystal clear. And I appreciate it. Okay, let's keep riding. All right, this is one of my favorite sections out here. It's a little quirky, but I like it. Oh, missed it. Now, in the early days of action cameras, one of their biggest problems is they couldn't handle the transition between light and dark. And I think it's really cool that the modern action cameras like this can handle it quite a bit better, because you gotta realize, whoo, there we go, how much shade and brightness we go through on a regular basis as mountain bikers. It is a necessity. Okay. Okay. Rock rolling our way to victory. There we go. Whoa. Woo. Too fun. It's just really cool to see these cameras go from good on the trail to great everywhere. They've made so many drastic improvements over the years. And right now, this Ace Pro is kind of at the pinnacle. I mean, we're just kind of doing it all and doing it all well, which I appreciate. There's a couple other things about this camera that I want to talk about. So let's do that right now. So let's talk about some of the standout features for me with this new Ace Pro 2 from Insta360. I know you fans of Insta360 are already familiar with the magnetic mounting plate, but I've personally never used it, and I'm personally a huge fan of it. It's been absolutely awesome. Okay, in addition to that, the processing power inside this camera has been so beneficial when it comes to using the interface. I mean, to me, navigating the menus is so snappy and fast. That's one of the biggest complaints I've always had with the GoPros. Their touchscreens sucked, but this has been tremendous. Like, honestly, just navigating these menus has been a breeze. The app is very easy to work with. The entire ecosystem, in my opinion, is fantastic. So let's cover our bases for the things mountain bikers want in an action camera and see if this checked all the boxes. I would say the 157-degree field of view in action mode looks great. It covers all our bases. I absolutely love it. Okay, battery life. I've been shooting with this thing off and on for 2 days, still haven't hit 0%. That being said, I was turning off the camera in between shots, so it's not a full real life test, but more than capable, really very good, and your friends are not going to be stopping every 10 minutes to watch you change batteries. Checks that box, in my opinion. Let's talk about heat for a second. I know that can be an issue with action cameras when they're running. I'm here to tell you right now, it's 100 degrees outside. If you can't tell, I'm probably sweating, and this camera's been running fine in the heat. I don't suspect that's gonna be an issue. I haven't put it in an oven like some guys will test, like DC Rainmaker probably is gonna put it in an oven. I'm not gonna do that, but based on real world tests here, worked great. Okay, and I've got to sit down for this next one because this one for me is huge. One thing I've always struggled with my GoPros is grabbing wind muffs off of Amazon and taping them on here or gluing them on because they fall off. It's been an ongoing problem. The chips inside this, they have AI that can help negate some of the wind noise. But in addition to that, if you pop this off, this is actually a wind guard right here. It's a wind muff that slides on and off. Now, if you're gonna shoot underwater, you would replace this with a mic guard. But in this case, this helps shield the main mic from the wind. And boy, oh boy, I can't tell you how excited I am for that. All right. But the question is, can it vlog? And I'm here to tell you right now, unequivocally, yes, it can. This flippable screen makes it really, really easy. They've done a 70% increase to resolution on the screen itself and a 6% increase to brightness. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is it is very bright out here today, and I can see this screen very easily. And plus, I can frame the shot of my dreams. I mean, tell me a Hollywood director that could frame a shot better than this. Christopher Nolan, eat your heart out. Oh yeah, and it's also got 360-degree horizon lock, meaning I can spin this camera 360 degrees and it will keep me center of frame facing up. That's kind of cool.
Oh, and did I mention this thing could take pictures up to 50 megapixels?
And just to prove my daughter wrong, who thinks I can't do a cartwheel, let's show off the 4K 120 that the Ace Pro 2 can do. Ready? That doesn't count as a cartwheel, does it? So what more can I say about the Ace Pro 2? It's got dual chips built inside. It's got a 2.5-inch flippable screen, which again, is far more useful than I thought it would be. It's got a built-in wind muff, something mountain bikers have been clamoring for, and my understanding is it has significant improvements in low light performance, but we're gonna have to wait a few hours for that, so cue the really expensive transition. Okay, and the sun is setting and I have now switched the Ace Pro 2 into pure video mode. What does that mean? That means it is better low light performance, taking advantage of both of those chips inside of the camera and improving low light performance by reducing noise and what would you call it, graininess and things like that. So far very good. Let's get a couple beauty shots, shall we? Come on. And nothing says beauty shots quite like a little night ride footage. It's not completely dark yet, but I would certainly consider this low light conditions. Yeah, bud. Taking a shortcut. Now, while I don't personally post a lot of night ride footage, it's always nice to know with a camera that if you're on a big, long ride, it can handle a little darkness so you can finish it out. So it's always nice to see a camera with good low light performance, just in case. Look out for the deer. Oh. And I've made one fatal mistake. Not wearing my glasses. All it's gonna take is one well-placed bug. And I'm down for the count. Yeah. All right, and let's do a little comparison video of my iPhone versus the Ace Pro 2 in low light performance. Both are recording basically the same thing right now. We can jump back and forth, and you tell me. I mean, which one looks better? All right, and it's now getting good and dark out here, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I've swallowed about 12 bugs, so
I think it's about time to get back to the truck and give you my final thoughts on this Ace Pro 2. But I gotta say, right out of the gate, a lot of things impressed me. I'm pretty stoked on this thing, so we'll see you back at the truck. Unless, of course, you want a little night ride ASMR. Let me turn the volume up for you real quick. ASMR.
The Insta360 Ace Pro 2, a jack of all trades in the action camera world, and a camera I would have no problem recommending to my mountain biking buddies. With that being said, I gotta get out of here. The neighbors are freaking out, and my light's about to die. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.